everyone. So this is Anju Duhani in front of you and I hope you all are doing well. Today we will start with the next topic, that is the transcription in case of eukaryotes. In our yesterday's lecture we already talked about transcription in case of prokaryotes, and in today's lecture we will discuss about transcription in case of eukaryotes. In yesterday's lecture I told you guys that there are some additional complexities in eukaryotes compared to the prokaryotes. Okay, we have studied transcription in prokaryotes. Most of the processes are similar, but there are some additional complexities in eukaryotes, and today we will discuss these complexities. So we will start with transcription in eukaryotes. Transcription in eukaryotes. As we all know, in case of eukaryotes there is a well-defined nucleus and there are well-defined cellular organelles. Okay, so in case of eukaryotes there is well-defined nucleus. Okay, and cellular organelles too. Okay, so if there is well-defined nucleus, it means the translation and the transcription occurs in different compartments, because transcription takes place in the nucleus and the translation takes place in the cytosol. Suppose this is an eukaryotic cell, this is the nucleus, so transcription takes place in the nucleus. Why transcription takes place in the nucleus? Because DNA is present in the nucleus and RNA is formed from DNA. We already talked about this process of central dogma, na? DNA to RNA to protein. So RNA is formed from DNA. So DNA is present in the nucleus. So RNA is formed or transcribed in the nucleus. So RNA is transcribed in nucleus. Then in case of eukaryotic cells, RNA move out of the nucleus to the cytosol. This is the cytosol. So RNA moves out of the nucleus to the cytosol, or we can say the cytoplasm. Here in the cytoplasm this RNA is translated into the protein. Okay, so proteins are formed in the cytosol or the cytoplasm. Okay, so here in cytosol proteins are translated. So transcription takes place in the nucleus and the translation takes place in the cytoplasm. Okay. And the additional thing is, in case of prokaryotes, there is only and only one enzyme, that is the DNA dependent RNA polymerases, which does all the work. But in case of eukaryotes, there are three different RNA polymerases, that is the, so we will discuss about the enzymes. So the main enzyme is DNA dependent RNA polymerase. Okay, this is the main enzyme for the transcription process. In case of eukaryotes, this RNA polymerase get associated with sigma factor at the position of initiation, get associated with rho factor at the termination. Okay, but in case of eukaryotes there are three type of RNA polymerases, that is the RNA pol 1, RNA pol 2 and RNA pol 3. What is this pol 1? This pol 1 is the polymerase 1, pol 2 is polymerase 2 and pol 3 is the polymerase 3. Okay, and each of this RNA polymerase is used for transcription of different type of RNA. As we have discussed in yesterday's lecture that there are three type of RNA major, that is the tRNA, rRNA and the mRNA. Okay, there are some additional RNAs also, that is the snRNA and all these things. Okay, so this RNA polymerase 1 is specified for transcription of one type of RNA. Polymerase 2 is for different type of RNA and polymerase 3 does the work of transcription of different type of RNA. Okay, so to remember this, RMT, R is for ribosomal RNA, M is for mitochondria, this mRNA, and T is for transfer RNA. Okay, and 3 polymerases, that is the 1, 2 and 3. So T is for 3, R is 1 and M is second. Yani what does this mean? That rRNA is transcribed by polymerase 1, tRNA is transcribed by polymerase 3 and mRNA is transcribed by polymerase 2. Okay, again rRNA is transcribed by polymerase 1, mRNA is transcribed by polymerase 2 and the tRNA is transcribed by polymerase 3. Okay, so this is the RMT formula 1, 2, 3. What are these 1, 2, 3? These are the types of RNA polymerases. Okay, so this RNA pol 1 is for the transcription of what? rRNA, that is the 28S, 18S and 5.8S. ठीक है. RNA pol 2 is the for transcription of mRNA and RNA pol 3 is for the transcription of tRNA and SN RNAs and 5S are RNA. ठीक है. So RNA pol 1 is for the transcription of rRNA, pol 2 is for the transcription of mRNA and pol 3 is for the transcription of tRNA, snRNA and 5S rRNA. This SN is small nuclear RNA. Okay. So these are the enzymes and these are the RNA which they transcribe. Now we discuss about the complexities in case of eukaryotes. So the basic steps are similar in between the prokaryotes and the eukaryotes. First process is the initiation, second is the elongation, and third one is the termination. So initiation start from the promoter sequence, elongation structural gene and the termination at the terminator sequence. Initiation start from the promoter sequence, elongation of the structural gene and the termination at the terminator sequence, and this promoter lies towards the 3' end of the template strand and this terminator lies toward the 5' end of the template strand. Okay. So when an RNA gets transcribed from the DNA, suppose this is the DNA, this is the 3', this is 5', this is 5' and this is 3'. Suppose this DNA gets transcribed into an RNA, so this strand works as an template strand and this strand works as an coding strand which do not code for anything. So this DNA molecule get transcribed into an RNA molecule. So this one is the 5' end and this one is the 3' end, and this is the single stranded RNA transcribed from this strand on the basis of complementarity principle. Okay. So after the transcription of this RNA, there are some additional processing. This RNA is not the mature RNA, this is the immature RNA which is known as an HN RNA, and after the processing of this HN RNA, mature mRNA is formed. So mRNA, that is the messenger RNA, is formed from the processing of HN RNA. So HN RNA is an immature RNA and mRNA is an mature RNA. Okay? So what are the processes which are used to convert this HN RNA into the mRNA? Okay. So first process is of splicing, second process is of capping, and third process is of tailing. What is this splicing? Splicing is basically the removal of introns and joining of exons. What is splicing? removal of introns and joining of exons. As we all know, exons are the coding sequence, means which code for the protein, and introns are the non-coding sequences. So in splicing, the non-coding sequences, that is the introns, are removed by some enzymes and the exons are joined. Okay, suppose this is an hnRNA. These black sequences are the intron region. This is exon 1, this is intron 1, then exon 2, intron 2, exon 3, intron 3. So after splicing takes place with the help of splicing complex. Okay, so here splicing complex comes and bind with this hnRNA and do the splicing, and in splicing these exons are joined and these introns are removed out of this mRNA. So this is the hnRNA and this is the mature mRNA, and in mRNA this is the 5' end, this is the 3' end, this is exon 1, exon 2 and exon 3. Here you can see that all the introns are removed and all the exons are joined end by end, means this is the 5' end, this is the 3' end of exon 1, this is the 5' end of the exon 1. So 3' end of the exon 1 is joined with the 5' end of the exon 2 and so on. So this is the complete mRNA. This is the process of splicing. Then capping. After this splicing process, a cap at the 5' end is done. Capping at the 5' end is done. What is this capping? Capping is basically the addition of methyl guanosine triphosphate at the 5' end of the hnRNA. What is capping? Capping is the process of addition of 5-methyl guanosine triphosphate at the 5' end of the mRNA, or we can say the hnRNA. Okay, so at this 5' end, methyl guanosine triphosphate is added. Exon 1, exon 2, exon 3. So this is the capping. What is this residue? This is the 5' methyl guanosine triphosphate. Okay, so this is the capping. And in case of tailing, multiple adenine residues get attached to the 3' end of the mRNA. Okay, so 200 to 300 adenylate residues are added onto the 3' end of the mRNA. So there is a stretch of poly A. Suppose this black one is a stretch of poly A. Poly means many and A is adenosine residues. Okay, so this is tailing. Tailing is addition of multiple or 200 to 300 adenine residues at the 3' end of the mRNA. Okay, so this is all about the processing of hnRNA, that is the immature RNA, to convert that hnRNA to the mature mRNA. First process is the splicing. Splicing means removal of non-coding sequences, that is the introns, out of the hnRNA. Okay, then second one is the capping. Capping is basically the addition of 5' methyl guanosine triphosphate at the 5' end of the mRNA. And then the third process is of tailing. Tailing is basically the addition of poly A tail at the 3' end. Poly A means 200 to 300 adenine or adenosine residues at the 3' end of the mRNA. Okay, so this is all about the splicing, capping, tailing. So this will then all this is about the transcription in case of transcription and processing of mRNA in case of eukaryotes. Okay, so thank you for watching this video, and in the coming lecture we will study about the translation process. Before the translation process we will discuss something about the genetic code. So thank you.